everyone, Flaming Footy here and welcome back to another YouTube video on the channel. And today guys, we are going to be continuing my Adelaide Crows My Coach career mode. Now in today's episode we are going to be playing Brisbane at the Adelaide Oval to continue our prime time run of games. We've played this will be our fourth in a row prime time games before next round. Of course we will be playing West Coast, which don't think about that as a bad game, because of course our history with West Coast is a really interesting one as well. But if you haven't gone ahead and checked out last week's episode versus Fremantle, please go ahead and do so now, because I'm about to spoil it here. But in this episode we've got Brisbane. Last week we played Fremantle and we hung on by 1 point, 76-77. We won by a point. Luke Jackson was probably one of the best on ground. He played really well, and as a result should be keeping a spot in this team this week. But yes, what a ripping game of footy it ended up being. We led for most of the game, but they came back. They actually should have won the game. They had a 35-metre shot, and it slammed into the post, so we were lucky to go ahead and win that one. This week we're playing Brisbane at the Adelaide Oval, back here at the Adelaide Oval for prime time footy. Don't you love to see it? Next week we're heading back to Perth, believe it or not, back to Perth again. So now the stakes for this game, this has been something that I've forgotten about a lot, has been stakes over the course of this year's coach career. But the stakes for today are win, you can try and take top spot, and lose, and you do have the chance to slide down with the rest of the competition, especially for Brisbane. But yes, we do have to win this game. But anyway, let's go ahead, hop into reading some emails. But before we do, match objectives: 1 banana goal, 4 smothers, and 23 contested possessions. Now to the office we go to read some emails. So yeah, Adeaide was suspended for 2 rounds. We went over that last episode. 1 week for him, and again, same for Cook. So them two are going to be back really soon. Lockie Neal is in red hot form. We don't need it. We can get rid of that. Match review: standout performers were Luke Jackson, Ben King, and Ben Keys in Fremantle's. We know Brian is back. That's massive. Kane Farrell a chance. Now, of course, this is what happens when we are in such a good team. That of course people are going to be wanting their chances, and We've got to sometimes give it to them, and this is another really tough one, because some players that have played really well, and one of them that hasn't played really well though has been Max King. So I'm going to take him out of the team today, and yes, Kane Farrell will get his chance of coming into the side. Max King goes out. I don't think he's really been as good as what we thought he was going to be coming to the club. Now, another one that I've been having my eye on to take out has been Connor Rosie. Now, I'm going to leave him in though, and Brayshaw, he hasn't been his best in the past few weeks either, so I'm going to swap him for Dacos, but Brayshaw will play on the bench still. I like the rest of the team. I think that we're going alright. Yeah, I'll leave that as it is. We're alright. The other play that I was thinking was about Jimmy Rowe, which, I don't know, I feel like I do want to give him a week, but at the same time I really can't. I think that he's really good, and I think making my final change, I know Marshall could be one that could come in, but yeah, I think I'll take Brayshaw out and bring in Horn-Franz. I think he's ready to come back in and give this week a crack. And I think that's the team that we're going to roll with. We're going to be making lots of changes. Jackson, let me just double check there that he has held his spot, which he most certainly has. And now it is time to go to the Adelaide Oval for Brisbane versus Adelaide. This is a massive game. Saturday night footy under Adelaide Oval lights. Really looking forward to this one. My prediction is that the Crows will beat the Lions. I think that we will win by 10. I think it's going to be an absolute ripper. I think we'll win by 10. So yeah, Crows by 10 for me. I think it should be an absolute ripping game. See you there. Massive game this one, of course, keeping in mind next week we do play West Coast, which if you go back and have a look at our coach career modes with West Coast, there's been lots of history. We have barely won. It's been draws. There've been lots of draws, been lots of small wins, been some chokes as well. So next week West Coast, but this game is Brisbane at the Adelaide Oval on a Saturday night. Here we go. O'Brien v McInerney to start things off. Brisbane from outside 50. They're running in now, and this should be their first of the night, and it is to Cam Rayner. Got an easy run there, beat his opponent on speed, got out the back and kicked the first. Here's Coleman, and it's still going to spill out for Farrell. back into the team this week, Caden Farrell for his second game of the year, and he's impressing early. He's got the first. Been so impressive throughout the course of this year. Now over to Connor Rosie, who should kick the Crows second. And he does exactly that, and the Crows hit the front. Alamarchi, he was hit right up fantastically. And now he fantastically kicks the goal as well. Brisbane have two. Here's Caden Farrell. He says he's going to have to settle for Josh Rochelle in the pocket. Josh Rochelle kicks a brilliant goal in the pocket. Wow, he's so talented. Archie, now to Cameron, and nice goal by Brisbane, all because of an Adelaide mistake. And then, Horn Francis, brilliant bit of play, brilliant goal by the Adelaide Crows. Started with Christian Salem from the back line. He's only going to play on when he needs to. He's going to go to Adeaide. And it's quarter time, so good work by the Crows. They hold a 6-point lead going into the first break. Played very conservative footy in the last couple of minutes, just so then they can hold this as the scoreline. We've gone inside 59 times to 6, but it's been Nick Dacos and Riley O'Brien, 4 disposals each that have been really good. Caden Farrell, he's made sure that he's had a big impact on his return to the senior team. But here we go for the second quarter. Here it's the Crows and the Lions. Saturday night footy at the Adelaide Oval. So here we go. Very poor work there by the Crows. Archie can make them pay, and he does exactly that, does Archie. The Crows, they're all lost, and now that results in Brisbane having the lead. De Koning, now for Connor Rosie, and now it's a goal for the Crows, and they hit back in front. Daniel Rich, such an elite user of this footy, goes long, and it's on line. It split the middle. Daniel Rich gets the goal, which brings Brisbane back to even terms. Two very elite teams go head to head here on Saturday night footy at the Adelaide Oval. Running through was Startovich. Sorry, no, it was Charlie Cameron running through the pack for his second goal of the night. Crazy stuff. So Dacos to De Koning. And they combine for a belter of a goal. Brilliant stuff. He's lining up the goals here. He's Joe Danaher. From the edge of the centre square, he's going to have to kick it. That's going long. That's strong. And it's all the way home. Joe Danaher. Brilliant stuff. Back. Can he point out Dawson? He can. That is a brilliant kick there by Jimmy Rowe. So Jordan Dawson, we know that he has the legs. It's going to be a very tough kick. But I've got it in the green. From the edge of the centre square, Jordan Dawson goes long to really ignite the crowd. Back to even we go again. The deadlock is on. But what about that? Brilliant. This goes long. Andrews, siren sounds. And the deadlock is here. 44 apiece at half time. 7-2-44 plays 7-2-44. The deadlock is on. Wow, it's been tough to get some breathing space in this game, alright, versus Brisbane. They have brought it on. They have made it tough. And oh man, what a game it has been already. I think like the biggest margin's probably been like 7 points or something. It has been insane. It has been tough to get goals. Well, I mean, it hasn't been tough. It's been high scoring actually, but it's been tough to get a break on the opponent. Riley O'Brien, 7 touches, 6 for Dawson, 5 for Dacos, 2 goals for Rosie. He's stamped his name that he wants to be in this team. That he's a key part of it. But well, the deadlock is on. Third quarter here. Is there going to be a break in this quarter? Let's see what happens. But here we go. Second half underway. Clear here. Cam Rayner. He could go and kick another. Cam Rayner. Oh, he's had a day out today as Cam. And the Lions go back in front in this seesawing contest. To make this the biggest margin of the night at 12 points if he kicks it, which he does. And now that is the biggest margin of the night, 12 points. Crows is going to go out the back. Jimmy Rowe, so dangerous out the back. Jimmy Rowe walks in, kicks a goal. Massive statement made by the Crows. Now Dacos, now Rory Sloan, and now the Crows. They can work through that brilliantly. Should have been on De Koning's straight onto his chest, but it wasn't. But Tom De Koning, the recovery was fantastic, and the snapper goal was just as good. And the Crows back in front. So Hugh McCluggage to put the Lions back up by 4 points in a seesawing affair, and he's got it through. Lions by 4. So now Reece Matheson to put the Lions up by 10 points. Oh, they're having a good night so far at Brisbane, and they are now just getting another break. Rayner went straight to him. Now goes in, and the siren sounds, and the Crows get away with a massive scare there. And it's the Lions by 12 points, and this break is continuing. Adelaide 9-4-58, Brisbane 11-4-70. 24 inside 50 to 22 in favour of the Crows. 9 touches for Dawson, but oh man, Brisbane, they are flying. They've got a couple of gaps now. They got out to a 12-point lead earlier. They have one now, but we've got to hold still. We've got to hold tight, and we have to bring it home. This last quarter is going to sum up this game, and we have to have a good one. Our last quarters this year have been rocky. They've been pretty bad, but we have to bring this one home. Here we go. Final quarter underway here between the Crows and the Lions. Let's see, what have the Crows got in store? What have the Lions got in store? Last quarter, here we go. Straight, now to Hipwood. This is going to make things really tough now, Eric Hipwood. 19 points, and not a great start for the Adelaide Crows at all. Very tough to beat. Now Keys, brilliant kick. Wasn't intended for Dawson, but Dawson makes it his own. Jordan Dawson to bring the Crows back. Oh boy, they needed that goal. We needed that goal desperately, just to breathe some life back into this one. Did not favour Brisbane. Now to Rochelle. Now to Rory Sloane. Rory Sloane, one of the Crows' best. And now it's back to a 7-point game. Here come the Crows. Josh Rochelle, we know what this young kid can do. Oh, brilliant. Bananaed it back to perfection, did Josh Rochelle. And all of a sudden, it is a 1-point game. The Crows have kicked the last 3 of the game. So Luke Jackson now to put the Crows back in front. And he's done it. It was an absolute shank, but doesn't matter. The Crows back in front. Last time, it's going to be coming back. Rich. And the Lions go back in front. Rich kicks his second. He knows how big this kick is. It's on its way, it's through. Could Brisbane win because of that now? The Crows, Jason Horne-Francis. He takes the mark. Needs to have a very quick set shot here. Jason Horne-Francis, it's on its way. It's going through. Jason Horne-Francis could have just won the game for his new club. Cameron sits underneath it. 30 minutes have passed. Charlie Cameron takes the mark. He goes in to Lions. Jared Lyons, if he misses this 2 weeks in a row, will be lucky for the Crows, but he's kicked it, and that'll do it. Brisbane win after the siren in an absolute classic to end the Crows winning streak, to end off our prime time. We'll be back in prime time a little bit later, but next week we're going to be going on to play West Coast. Unbelievable game of footy though. It was a ripper in every single aspect. It was a deadlock for the whole game really, and before Horne-Francis thought he'd won it, but no, just another twist to the tail. But this is going to be an absolute classic to remember. Saturday night classic if you want to call it that. And the Crows taste defeat for the first time this year, but we were matched by a very good opponent, and Brisbane, they got the break at the start of the last quarter, and that is where they won the game. It was just too much for the Crows to handle, but look, brilliant game. It was intense. That was the intense game. Even though last week was intense and the margins were different, but oh man, this one was intense. Brisbane matched us everywhere, and every time we kicked a goal, they always had something to respond back to us. This was one of those high-scoring, free-flowing games that you love to see. They're my favourite games of footy, in my opinion. You just see the scoring all the time, and this was exactly that. So if you want to go back, have a look at the highlights package. If you haven't already, or want to go back, watch it for a second time, go ahead and do so. So, Dawson 12 touches, 11 for O'Brien. He made a big statement back on return. 8 disposals for Smith, 2 goals for Dawson, Rosie and Rochelle. So bonus flame vote today is going to be going to Riley O'Brien. so he'll walk away with +1 Flames votes. But 3 votes today is going to be going to, I'm going to be giving it to somebody a little bit different, Jordan Dawson. I felt him in the game. I think he was a player that really came alive. My 2 votes today going to go to Riley O'Brien. And my 1 vote today is going to go to Ben Keys. So 3 votes, Jordan Dawson. 2 votes, Riley O'Brien. 1 vote, Ben Keys. It was a big game of footy. It was a massive, massive, massive game of footy. And Brisbane ended up walking away the better of the teams. But oh man. And again next week we've got a few team selection things to go ahead and do. So like on the cusp of being dropped is Luke Jackson. When he's not in the ruck, he's not in the game. So I think that he's only really going to be able to play when he's in the ruck, perhaps for Luke Jackson, which is a massive disadvantage for him. Josh Dacos just was not feeling it today, nor was Kristen Salem. I thought Kane Farrell, he was handy, but I'm not sure he was good enough. Matt Crouch and Jordan Butts include a couple of others on the cusp as well, but I think other than that, I think that we've done a pretty good job with our team over the course of this year. And again, we had a good last quarter, so it's a win out of a loss kind of aspect, and that's not even a disappointing loss. That is a loss that we learned from, but we played well in the final quarter, which is my massive thing for the team. If we can play well in the last quarter, it's a win out of a loss, regardless of the result. Next week, though, get your seatbelts strapped in. We're heading over to West Coast. Well, we're heading over to Perth to play West Coast. Get your seatbelts strapped in for that one. That is going to be ripping. Make sure, get your seatbelts strapped in, grab some popcorn. It should be a ripping game next week. They have not tasted defeat, so we are going to go over there and we will hopefully win. But anyway, before we go ahead and finish off this episode, I'm just going to go ahead, do the match preview. So the underperforming players were Jackson, Dacos and Salem. So of course, I think Jackson will end up being out. Adeaide and Cook, 2 massive players are back. So who's this going to be in? Great. Tom Adeaide, yep. Of course he'll be coming back in. So we're going to go make some instant changes. Jeremy McGovern is in red hot form, so we've got to make sure that we're putting somebody good on him. So now I'm just going to go ahead, just finish off by making just a couple of changes to the team already. So I think, so who's going to be playing on McGovern? King, so it's going to be his toughest challenge. Kane Farrell will be going out, and yes, the first change that I'll be making will be Max King comes back into the side. I think he just needs to have just another comforting game. Dacos, I'm going to swap him and Jason Horn France. I think Jason Horn plays better there. I think the midfield, we'll leave it for now. Salem, he will be out for Adeaide. Christian Salem will not be playing this week. He'll be out. Braden Cook will be coming back in for Luke Jackson. And Andrew Brayshaw found himself on the outer a lot this year. Rowe didn't have as much of an impact as I would like, but we'll leave him in for now. So, and again, another players that can come in is like, we're talking Ginnivan, we're talking De Koning, we're talking McAdam, Saligo, Smith, Brayshaw, Marshall, Scholl. They're just a couple of others that can come in, but that's the change that I've made for now. I don't need to make any more than that. For now, I will of course go and train players as well, do all that stuff off camera, but have a look. So our prime time run has come to a close, and here's how it played out. So we beat Collingwood, we beat North, we beat the Dockers, and then we lost to Brisbane. But look, it's not really a bad loss, just because of we were competitive, both teams were hungry. But yes, as I said, grab popcorn, strap yourself in for next week, because it is going to be a ripper versus West Coast. And then the week next, we are playing back here at home against the Western Bulldogs. But look, strap yourself in next week. West Coast, grab popcorn, strap yourself in, do whatever, but be ready for next week, because it is going to be a brilliant game of footy in Perth. So now the stat leaders, as we do currently sit as well, we'll go over our goal kicking and then who's currently the Coleman. 7 goals for Rowan Fogarty. Look, I don't think Fogarty fell to that game either. I think we're already a long way behind the 8 ball with that. Yeah, Kerno's already on 14, Lynch is on 12, 11 for Rioli and Lloyd, 10 for Mitch McGovern, Franklin Elliott and Charlie Cameron, 9 for Cam Rayner, Melksham and Callum Brown. So that is how things currently sit after that round 4 loss. But look, we played our best and there was still plenty of highlights. It was a deadlock for most of the game. That's enough now though. But next week, make sure that you are ready. Make sure to subscribe with notifications on, so then you will know when this video goes out straight away to watch this ripping contest next week. I will hopefully guarantee that that'll be a ripping contest. It might not be, but I hope it will be. We always have good games versus West Coast. But anyway, thank you guys all so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe and hit that notification bell, so then you guys will never miss another video on the channel. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Goodbye everyone, Flaming Footy out.